इमरजेंसी की सूरत हाल है हॉस्पिटल के अंदर.
In the dead of the night, while the world slept, India struck back. Between 1:05 and 1:30 a.m. on the 7th of May, India rewrote the rules of engagement. 24 missiles, 9 terror camps, 70 plus terrorists eliminated in just 25 minutes of horror for Pakistan. The operation was swift, it was precise, and needless to say, the operation was devastating as well. The operation was codenamed Sindur, a tri-service coordinated response spearheaded by the Indian Army, Navy and the Air Force. Its message: India will no longer absorb the blow. It will respond with intent, with intelligence, with sophistication and with impact. The strikes, they targeted sites deep inside the enemy territory, from Muzaffarabad and Bhimbar in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to Bahawalpur, Chakwal and Rawalkot in mainland Pakistan as well. 25 minutes of horror for Pakistan. And then again, these weren't random hits. They were based on meticulous intelligence. All of these pinpointed targets, they used the UAV precision strikes. These were laser-locked and guided attacks. These were training camps. These were launch pads, like you can see on your screens as well. Arms depots, command centers of terror hubs built over decades by Pakistan-based terror groups like Lashkar-e-Toiba, Hizbul, and of course Jaish-e-Mohammed. Infrastructure that was used to plot and perpetrate attacks on Indian civilians and soldiers. And this operation, well, it was in response to the April 22nd terror attack in Pahalgam, an attack that left 26 dead, including a Nepali national and scores others wounded as well. Now, at a packed press conference, a press briefing in Delhi, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, flanked by Colonel Sophia Qureshi on one side and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh on the other, addressed the nation and the world together. He said this was a measured and proportionate strike, not escalatory. It was responsible. It was focused entirely on the terrorist infrastructure. Then, of course, on one side, flanked by Colonel Qureshi, who added that this is not just retaliation, it is a strategic disruption. For over 3 decades, Pakistan has nurtured and shielded terror infrastructure. Operation Sindoor sends a new message. Those safe havens are no longer safe for the terrorists. But then again, one must understand why this date and why the name Operation Sindoor. Because Sindoor is more than red. It is sacred for us Indians. It's a mark of sacrifice, a symbol of protection. And this operation was just that, a protective shield drawn in fire to honor those who fell in Pahalgam and to protect those yet untouched by terror. Real-time UAV surveillance guided every missile attack on these 9 locations. 21 missiles, 9 precise targets, more than 70 terrorists that were eliminated. Precision-guided munitions, launched by air and land, struck their targets with clinical accuracy. Take a look at some of those visuals on your screens as well. No Pakistani military installation was touched. Mind you, this was again mentioned at the press briefing as well. No Pakistani military installation was touched. This was not a war, it was deterrence, delivered with restraint, that too. And as visuals pour in, burnt out compounds, flattened structures like you can see, intercepted communications in disarray. One question now hangs in the air. Is this the beginning of a de-escalation, or is India preparing for more strikes on the cards? Because for the first time in years, India hasn't just responded, India has literally reset the rules. Take a look at some of those visuals. Let's put those visuals in full frame for all our viewers. Joining us here on the broadcast is Major General V.K. Datta, Defence and Strategic Expert, and Colonel Anurag Avasthi, Policy, Semiconductors and Defence Affairs Expert. A very warm welcome to you, General and Colonel. General, I'm going to quickly come to you. General Datta, help us understand the kinetic response that we've been talking about over the last fortnight or so. The date, the timing, the name, the significance of this operation, because we're already picking up source-based information that's telling us to prep our borders, at least on the Rajasthan, the Jaisalmer front, because there could be disproportionate response from there as well. But the Defense Minister, Khwaja Asif, he's also said that we're ready to ramp things down if India backs down. And on the other hand, you've got NSA Doval, who's already told the Chinese foreign minister that we don't want a war, but if Pakistan retaliates, then needless to say, we will give it back in the same vein and tone. General Datta, over to you.
Yeah, see, the significance of this strike today is that firstly, you take the code name given to the operation, Operation Sindoor. This has got a sentimental and a civilization meaning. It is a meaning and a message conveyed to Pakistan that what your terrorists did on proxy, through you, organized by you, sent by you, our response is this. And for us, the Sindoor has got a very significant meaning in the life of a Hindu family, in the life of a Hindu woman. You have tried to hurt the feeling and sentiments of 140 million Hindus as such, Indians as such, whether it is a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, everybody, every citizen of India. Therefore, as far as we are concerned, right from the 22nd of April onwards, India had started a campaign against Pakistan by immediately stopping the Indus Valley or suspending the IWT and giving a message to Pakistan that water and blood cannot flow together. And subsequently, we took other measures, whether they were economical, trade, closure of uh, the air routes, the harbor facilities, the trade with Pakistan, and this will continue. Our diplomatic initiative all over the world. So that was one side of the story. Now, when we come on to the actual targeting of a kinetic strike, people were saying, no, see, too much time has been, lost in not responding, and we want a kinetic response from India to teach a lesson to them. So therefore, our response and our statement by the Prime Minister was that we are going to go after the entire terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan, against the perpetrators of the crime, the abettors, the planners, and the people who are controlling this. And we will find them wherever they may be in any part of the world, whether they go underground, wherever. So we never said that we are going to attack Pakistan. We said we are going to attack the terrorist infrastructure. Now, based on our resolve, we were planning and we have decided to strike the core of the terrorists in Pakistan. All the organizations, whether they are Hizbul Mujahideen, whether it is the Lashkar-e-Toiba, whether they are the Jaish-e-Mohammed targets, and you can see the spread of the targets which you selected from the north to the south in the middle of Pakistan, Bahawalpur and Muridke in Punjab, in the heart of Pakistan. Our targets were very well selected with complete intelligence. We had the entire knowledge about every location of the terrorists and their numbers in that area. And based on that, we carried out a very, very precision calculated strike. And the results are in front of you. So now the thing is that as far as we are concerned, we have done a kinetic strike against the terrorist infrastructure. We have not targeted any military installation. We have not targeted any civilian installation. We have not tried to target any other target other than the terrorist infrastructure of Pakistan. Now, as far as Pakistan is concerned, they have always been a deniability mode. Please give us a proof, give us a dossier. We have tried all that. We have given them proof, we have given them dossiers. Now the time for dossiers is over. You do something here, we'll hit you back. So now the thing is that
What we did this time, General, we hit them and then we gave the dossier not just to Pakistan, we gave it to our own citizens and we told the entire world what was behind these significant attacks as well. No Pakistani military targets were hit. Colonel Awasthi, that's what General is talking about. Now, do you read this as a strategic restraint or a tactical clarity? But hold on to that thought just for a second, Colonel, because just like General Datta was talking about, let's quickly listen in to the two ladies, the two forces, our officers. We've got Wing Commander Vyomika and Colonel Sofia Qureshi. Let's listen in to those reactions, what they had to say at the press briefing, the important portions, and then Colonel Awasthi will come back to you for that very answer. Was this strategic restraint or is this tactical clarity? Listen in to Sofia Qureshi, Colonel and Wing Commander Vyomika, on your screens next.
Sindur was launched by Indian Armed Forces to deliver justice to the victims of Pahalgam terror attack and their families. 9 terrorist camps were targeted and successfully destroyed. Over the last 3 decades, Pakistan has systematically built terror infrastructure. It is a complex web of recruitment and indoctrination centers, training areas for initial and refresher courses, and launch pads for handlers. These camps are located both in Pakistan as well as Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir areas. Some of the well-known training camps are located, as you can see on the screen. They are distributed from Savai Nala in the north, counting to approximately 21, ending at Bahawalpur to the south. Selection of these targets for Operation Sindoor was based on credible intelligence inputs and role of these facilities in perpetrating the terror activities. The locations were so selected to avoid damage to civilian infrastructures and loss of any civilian lives.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर 22 अप्रैल को पहलगाम में हुए विभत्स आतंकवादी हमले के शिकार मासूम नागरिकों व उनके परिवारों को न्याय देने के लिए लॉन्च किया गया था। इस कार्रवाई में 9 टेररिस्ट कैंप्स को टारगेट किया गया और पूरी तरह से इसे बर्बाद किया गया। पाकिस्तान में पिछले 3 दशकों से टेरर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का निर्माण हो रहा है। इसमें रिक्रूटमेंट, इंडॉक्ट्रिनेशन सेंटर्स, ट्रेनिंग एरियाज व लॉन्च पैड शामिल थे, जो पाकिस्तान और पाक अधिकृत जम्मू कश्मीर POK दोनों में फैले हैं।
Colonel Awasthi, coming back to that question that I put through to you, let's put that map graphics on the screen. We're talking about a maximum target range of 100 kilometers, Kotli 15 kilometers from Rajouri, Gulpur 35 kilometers from Poonch, Barnala is 10 kilometers from Rajouri again, another terror hub, Mehmoona, Muridke, Lashkar terror camps over here as well, 30 kilometers from Samba district, and Bahawalpur, the Jaish headquarters, about 100 kilometers from the border. Tactical restraint, strategic restraint, or clarity? How are you looking at it, Colonel?
All right. Firstly, let me, give my compliments to the 2 lady officers, the way they have handled the press briefing. I think my heart and my chest fell with pride seeing how they have interacted with the media and giving them so lucid and a bilingual briefing, which I think is absolutely commendable. That's one. Now, coming to your question, it is not neither a strategic restraint or it is a tactical clarity. It is strategic clarity, which has created strategic disruption. Now, let me give you around 5 or 6 takeaways from this. Giving this kinetic response, I will not go into the dynamics of the economic or the diplomatic or the social part at all, insofar as the response has been given by India befittingly ever since the 22nd of April. But let me give you, 6 major takeaways from this. The first thing is jointness. See, it's a tri-service operation. I think it is really commendable, and India has come up to date insofar as the jointness is concerned. That has to be not lost sight of insofar as this kinetic response is concerned. The second part is intent. As General Datta also brought out earlier, everybody knew what is where. But this intent has shown that we know where you are and we have the capability to strike you at will at a point and time of our own choosing. So this is very, very important, which has come out of this kinetic response. The second part is location and precision. You have calibrated your response in a manner that the locations have been fed where they have to be struck, and you have actually targeted them with impunity, with the best weapon system, without any problems of the weapon target mismatch, which itself is an outstanding thing to happen in terms of not only planning of operations, but also executing them. The third part is, or the third takeaway that I feel is most important is all our life, we've been checking out, look at 2019 Balakot, or you look at 2016 surgical strikes. where a lot of people had a lot of apprehensions, as to where you went, or you show us this, or you show us that. All 9 targets are known high visibility targets in Pakistan and Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Let there be no mistake that they were all high visible targets, well known terrorist seminaries, terror factories, which have been targeted with absolute precision. So, insofar as the visibility of the targets is concerned, there have been high visibility targets. The whole world should know that, look, it is clear that these were terrorist seminaries. Now, insofar as the strike is concerned, we have ensured that there was no damage to the civilian or the economic infrastructure, leave alone military. Now, this basically means that you are very clear insofar as your response is concerned. Your problem is not the local populace. Your problem is not the economic infrastructure. Your problem is the terror factories. And you've actually targeted them as a calibrated, clear response of what has been done in Pahalgam with your citizens on the 22nd of April. The last part is that, this entire kinetic response has given a lot of leeway to the world powers to give their opinions and give their, views on what has happened and what India should do, and etc., etc. Now, there are some countries who have already been standing for India. There are some countries which are ambivalent, which are well known to us. With the current geopolitics, there are some countries whom India has helped in the past in terms of earthquake resistance, assistance during, I think, February of 2023 and all of that. But that country today has condemned these attacks. So this, in the military parlance, as it is referred to as identification of friend and foe, is quite clear insofar as these attacks are concerned. So these are my 6 major takeaways from what the kinetic
Absolutely, absolutely. Many thanks for those initial comments. We've got a breaking development. We've found 42 bodies in Bahawalpur. There's a number that people are talking about now. The terror training camps in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Pakistan, they've been destroyed. Nearly 100 terrorists. We were earlier talking about 70 plus terrorists that have been neutralized in Operation Sindoor. Let's increase that number to 100 plus terrorists that have been neutralized here. 42 bodies that have been found in Bahawalpur as well. But on our side of the border as well, in Poonch, in Kupwara, there was some heavy shelling that was reported again in the wee hours of the day as well. My colleague Ankit Bhatt, he's filed a ground report. General Datta, Colonel Awasthi, do pay heed. Take a look at this ground report that's coming in from Poonch. My colleague Ankit Bhatt.
पाकिस्तान की तरफ से पुंछ रजौरी इलाके में सीज फायर का उल्लंघन किया जा रहा है। पाकिस्तानी सेना आर्टिलरी का इस्तेमाल कर रही है। वहीं आपको बता दें कि पुंछ इलाके में जो बॉर्डर का इलाका है वहां पर तकरीबन बताया जा रहा है कि 12 लोगों की मौत हुई है। वहीं 40 के करीब लोग जो है वो इंजर्ड हैं। लेकिन इन सब के बीच स्वास्थ्य विभाग अलर्ट मोड पर है और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि जो इंजर्ड लोग हैं उनका यहाँ पर जो उपचार है वो चल रहा है। कई लोग माइनर इंजर्ड है, कई मेजर है, लेकिन इन सब के बीच 12 लोगों की मौत हुई है और इनका लगातार जो इलाज है वो यहाँ पर किया जा रहा है। स्वास्थ्य विभाग अलर्ट मोड पर है। ये इसीलिए पाकिस्तान की तरफ से किया जा रहा है क्योंकि भारत की तरफ से पहलगाम में हुए आतंकी हमले का बदला ले लिया गया है। पाकिस्तान अब बौखला चुका है। पाकिस्तान लगातार अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंच पर भी एक्सपोज होता हुआ नजर आ रहा है। ये पाकिस्तान की कायराना सबूत है कि किस तरीके से हमारे सिविलियंस को टारगेट कर रहा है, किस तरीके से लगातार रिहायशी इलाकों में गोले दाग रहा है। हमारे साथ स्थानीय लोग भी मौजूद हैं और यहाँ पे जो इंजर्ड है उनसे भी बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे। सबसे पहले जो स्थानीय लोग हैं उनसे बात करेंगे। साहब, क्या हुआ और कितने बजे की ये वाकया है और अभी की क्या सिचुएशन है?
रात को लगभग 1:30 बजे यहाँ पर जो है गोलाबारी शुरू हो गई। तो एकदम से हल्ला पड़ गया और सब लोग उठ के अपने छतों पर चले गए।
Well, so that was the situation in Poonch late last night. Colonel Awasthi and General Datta were now picking up information of terror camps that were destroyed, 42 bodies in Bahawalpur as well. And the Operation Sindoor, we're also looking at the choice of targets by the Indian Air Force. But 42 bodies that have been found in Bahawalpur, General Datta, this number certainly seems to be going up by the hour as well.
Yes, absolutely. See, the thing is, the Bahawalpur target was a Jaish target, And as per the intelligence report, there were more numbers which were present there. But the figures which have been given by the Pakistanis of 42 bodies, I'm very sure that you can multiply that by at least, if not 10, by 5 at least. That means there'll be much more dead in this particular target because it had a large concentration of the Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists in this place. Now, as far as the other locations are concerned, they've been equal number of terrorists as per the size of the target. The next one, the Murike, the where the Lakshya Toiba headquarters. So that also has been hit. And if you have seen the Bahawalpur attack by our system which we use there, it has penetrated the roof, it has penetrated the floor, it has even hit the basement. So you can imagine that it struck 3 floors simultaneously. That means it was a bunker buster ammunition which went through the roof, the flooring, and went into the basement of Bahawalpur, the establishment of Jaish-e-Mohammed. It's a very large complex, and we didn't target the other buildings. It was a very specific input that where these people were sleeping, how many were there, and that's why this was targeted. Now comes the question of the precision of this munitions used, the tactic used, and more importantly, if you remember the last time when we did Pulwama, your opposition leaders were asking for proof. Where's the proof? Pakistan was saying only one crow has died. There are some craters outside. And the only reason was that when the strike went in Balakot, it was a cloudy night. The cameras of the aircraft couldn't record. It was subsequently recorded from a satellite image that the target had holes in the roof. More than 300 terrorists were killed in that assault. This time we have made sure that every target we have engaged, that has been video recorded by a standalone drone on a camera, and we have got a damage assessment of the target at the right time. Sometimes what happens when we strike a target and we find that the target has not been neutralized, we can carry out a second strike. So the damage assessment has also been done simultaneously along with the strike on those targets. So that shows the technological edge India has got, the technology and precision that the Indian systems are using today to target anything across the border. Now, this is also a message to the Pakistan army. If Asim Munir thinks that he can get away by inciting terror in India, he should know that we can pick him up anytime. If we have not done it, it is our maybe goodwill at the moment. It will all depend on what this gentleman does, because Pakistan is no more a democratic country. It is being ruled by this man from behind the scenes, the Pakistan army. And my message to the people of Pakistan would be, get rid of this rabid army. This army is eating into you. It is the one and the main cause for the problems Pakistan is facing today. Right since independence, the Pakistan army has been trying to show the threat from India, trying to scare the people of Pakistan that they must remain in power. The army should remain in power so that they will save them from the attack from India. I am giving assurance to the people of Pakistan to remove this rabid army, remove this Mullah Munir. Indian army will not step an inch into Pakistan territory. POK is ours, only we'll take that back. So therefore, if the people of Pakistan don't get rid of this army and this Mullah Munir, they are going to suffer in the future. They should think about their future, the future of their children, the education, the growth, the economy of the country, and not be swayed by this stupid rabid man who has got no interest of the development of Pakistan as a nation in the League of Nations, in the United Nations. They are the ones who are a mafia in Pakistan, having a strength of 5 lakh troops under them with nuclear devices. The world should also think about, should a man like that have the nuclear power under him? Should he not be disarmed? He means the Pakistan be disarmed, because this country cannot be relied upon as to what are they going to do with their nuclear assets. And right from the beginning, we never said we are going to attack Pakistan. They have been saying we'll strike a nuke, we'll carry out a nuclear strike, we are a nuclear country. We never even uttered about nuke. These guys don't even know the meaning of nuclear. What happens if you carry out a nuclear exchange? You will be finished. Nothing will be left of you. If you have nuclear, what do you think we are going to play gully danda with you? So the thing is that a nation which is not mature enough to be armed with a nuclear weaponry, I think the international community should take stock of this. And we should make sure that Pakistan gets a democratically elected government back who have the welfare of the people of the country in their mind and not a mafia army who is carrying out drug trade, minting counterfeit money of India, which we did a notebandi and that factory of they had to close. They are involved in all kind of things. They sold their ammunition to Ukraine for 300 million. Today they don't have more than 4 days fighting reserve. Therefore, this army is totally a defunct army, only trying to beat their chest, be on a deniability mode, use terror as a tool of state policy. So India is now calling their shots. India is no more interested in fake narratives. Please give us proof. We never did it. We never came to Kargil. 26/11 was a
There's another
attack
breaking
by this.
development. There's another breaking development. My apologies for interjecting like this. There's another breaking development that we must bring to all our viewers because Colonel Awasthi was just telling us about how the globe is now reacting to it. I mean, we helped Turkey now, didn't we? And the Turkish response certainly not meeting us even halfway here. But now we're learning that the Foreign Secretary is going to brief the envoys in the national capital on Operation Sindoor. Just like it happened previously, all the envoys have been called into the Ministry of External Affairs where this proper briefing is going to be carried out. Now, Colonel Awasthi, we were earlier talking about how on the global level, Pakistan needs to be ostracized. We know what happened at the closed-door UNSC meeting. We know how the entire world condemned the Pahalgam carnage. And even though the Qatari Prime Minister has now dialed Shehbaz Sharif, they're all standing in solidarity. They think it's all hunky-dory, but that's not the case because all these envoys for a special briefing at the Ministry of External Affairs, what are going to be some of the implications of this meeting? It's important that India tells the world why it did what it did.
All right. Let me, first focus my response onto the kinetic measures, which you just mentioned. And we had these, visuals coming from the line of control where the gentleman was saying that the shelling is in progress, etc., etc. Firstly, there is nothing which is out of the ordinary here because it is a usual playbook. That's exactly how the Pakistanis react, as and when they are cornered. Also, in this circumstance, this is also a gap in which a couple of infiltrators can get in. That's the way it generally happens. So there is a massive need for the vigil and domination of the line of control, which I'm sure the glorious Indian Army is doing and is very good at. That's one. The second part is you mentioned about the UN Security Council closed door meeting yesterday as it happened. But my sense tells me that if you think you're going to be getting some kind of a resolution out of that is a little, out of the ordinary for me or not possible because our friend up north is likely to veto it. He has the veto power. And I have a feeling that no resolution from, UN Security Council is expected. Now, the third part is Asim Munir. Asim Munir has, I think, bitten more than he can chew. He has escalated this entire, ladder of, kinetic and non-kinetic response due to his own failures. His failures with dealing with the PTI along with the Imran Khan saga. He has two corps which are looking up north towards Afghanistan. There's problem in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. There's problem in Balochistan. It's imploding from within. So to do all of this, and tell the local populace of Pakistan, which is already reeling under a massive debt, as well as it is reeling under a massive economic turmoil, that the Pakistan army is here to save them and it is a savior and all of that. This may not cut ice in the long run, and I'm quite certain that I think he's bitten more than he can chew. Now, in the kinetic response also, we have seen targeted, response on these 9 targets you just mentioned, and I allude to the fact of 24 missiles and all of that, and the post strike damage assessment, as it is referred to as PSDA, being carried out as to how many bodies and what is it and what all is, hit, etc. I go back with General Datta of what he said about the technological edge. You mentioned in the beginning of the bulletin that there were the scalp munitions or the scalp bombs which were used. Now, scalp is also referred to as Storm Shadow. They are made by MBDA and they are used by the Rafale. They are also those hammer bombs. Hammers is the highly agile modular munitions extended range. That's what it's an acronym of bombs, which can be used for a larger distance with pinpoint accuracy. And the others, of course, whether they were drones or loiter munitions or whatever they were, that'll come out in the due course of time. But the fact of the matter is that India has demonstrated that technology as well as tactical superiority, as also the expertise and the intent of functioning under a window between the conventional operations and the nuclear overhang is possible. And that's exactly what we have done.
General Datta, right at his first answer, also spoke about the significance of naming this Operation Sindoor because, so many of those tourists were widowed. Husbands were asked their religion. They were shot dead right in front of their wives as well. Operation Sindoor, giving it back to Pakistan with this code name on the 13th day of the attack, there is great ownership of the narrative of emotion over here as well, Colonel and General. And on that note, I think this is the right segue to tell you and show you how the family members of those victims are reacting on the anvil of this big success of Operation Sindoor. Listen in to some of those voices of the family members as well.
हमने अपने भतीजे को, जो खानदान के अंदर सबसे बड़ा बेटा था, सबसे बड़े भाई का बेटा था, वो हमारे घर से चला गया। उसकी पूर्ति तो कोई नहीं कर सकता है, पर सरकार ने जो कदम उठाया है और आतंकवादी का जो हम चाहते थे कि आतंकवादी शब्द जड़ से ही मिट जाना चाहिए, और सरकार ने इतना अच्छा कदम उठाया, हमें बहुत खुश है उससे।
जो हुआ वो सही हुआ, किंतु जो 4 व्यक्ति है उसको मारना है। 4 कौन है? जो 4 व्यक्ति जिनने बिना डरे जो कार्य करा, जो जानवर के भी नहीं करता वो कार्य करा, बस उसका इंसाफ चाहिए।
जो 4 आतंकियों ने घटना करी थी
वो कबूल करे कि हमने करा ये चीज, उनकी क्षमता के अनुसार उनको भी वैसी सजा मिलनी चाहिए जैसे वो हुई।
If it is attack on the terror outfits, I think it's the right thing, because if not now, they will kill some more civilians, some more people across the border, across India, etc. So I think government has done a detailed study before coming into this conclusion of attacking these terror outfits, and we completely support the government decision.
ऐसा व्यवस्था पहले से ही होना चाहिए। ऐसी अब व्यवस्था जो सरकार करी उससे हम संतुष्ट हैं। हम चाह रहे हैं कि हमारी व्यवस्था माने सरकार ऐसी कड़ी से कड़ी रखे कि आतंकवाद को माने जड़ से उखाड़ फेंके और आइंदा आगे से किसी के घर के कोई व्यक्ति को आतंकवाद मार न सके। हम इससे संतुष्ट हैं कि जो कल भी स्ट्राइक की गई है उससे भी संतुष्ट हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि सरकार हमारी जो मोदी जी हैं, अमित शाह जी हैं, जो भी व्यवस्था किए हैं अच्छी है।
सरकार इस मामले में बहुत ज़्यादा सेंसिटाइज और सेंसिटिव है और वो अपना काम कर रही है। और आपने इस रात वो देखा कि सरकार ने कितनी दुरुस्तता के साथ सही ठिकानों पर आतंकवाद की कमर तोड़ने के लिए उस पर कड़ा प्रहार किया है, और भविष्य में कभी ऐसा ना हो इसलिए